Hi guys, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Better Off Dead here on a Thursday, midday MLB action to get to. We did pretty well yesterday, 3-1. We doubled up on the Rays there in New York to upset Garrett Cole and the Yankees. 4-2, I think was the final there. We cashed in on the team total team total over, as well as the money line, paying that positive money. Been doing pretty well last several days. I won't jinx it too much. Business as usual. We'll just keep it rolling. 4 games behind me on that MLB board that I've circled. Astros at Rockies. This is the game 4 of the 4-game home and home series between the two. Astros have beaten the Rockies 100 games in a row. It feels like that anyway. Astros have been all over the Rockies. I've been on the wrong side of it a couple of times on these videos, but I'm going to back it one last time and hope the Rockies avoid the sweep. Hope they get off the schneid a little bit behind German Marquez, left-hander, and Christian Javier going for the Astros. He's a pretty good right-hander. The Astros are on a roll. The Rockies are really cold, but the Rockies are a modest favorite at the -127 figure today. So maybe the books, the sharps, and so forth are on board with the Rockies as well today. So I look for the Rockies to finally beat the Astros. And a little bit later on, a couple games there in pretty quick succession. Milwaukee Brewers at Minnesota Twins. Respect the heck out of the Twins with all that power. This pitcher for them, Jose Barrios, is a guy that they are relying on for the future. He is a big right-hander, power pitcher. He's a good player, but he's run into a little trouble last couple of starts, giving up a lot of walks. That's usually a recipe for a high ERA, and that has been the case for him recently. Going against these Brewers, the Brewers scored quite a few runs yesterday. It kind of broke out. The Brewers appear to be middle of the road. Their record indicates that. I think they are sitting at 500 after that win yesterday. This is the rubber game of the series. Brandon Woodruff going for the Brewers. Really good pitcher. As I mentioned, I respect the Twins' bats quite a bit. The Brewers are a 500 club. I'm not going to back the Brewers to win necessarily, but that team total jumps out at me on the road there. Team total over 4.5. I believe Yelich and Braun both went deep yesterday. Lots of hits. I think we're all kind of waiting on Christian Yelich to get on a roll here and finish the season with pretty good numbers. So that has to happen sooner rather than later. Brewers to keep it going, over 4.5 team total there at a pretty almost even money. I think I had -105 on that. Dodgers at Mariners. Dodgers did drop game 3 of this home and home 4-game set to the Mariners yesterday there in Seattle. They go again in Seattle. Clayton Kershaw, the legend, going against Kikuchi for the Mariners. Kikuchi ran into some trouble early this season. He got beat up by the Astros. Maybe that was 10 or 12 days ago. Then the old sore neck, scratched start thing after a terrible outing. So he skipped a start with some sort of minor injury. Dodgers don't have experience against him. I don't even think most of the Dodgers have faced him. But I'm looking for the Dodgers just to do their thing. I think they scored 4 or 5 runs even in a loss yesterday to these Mariners. So I look for the Dodgers bats to do their stuff against Kikuchi, a pitcher who appears to be vulnerable right now. I wish it was 4.5, but it is in fact 5.5. Dodgers team total there on the road. I'm going to do it, and it's a decent deal. Maybe it's -110 for the Dodgers team total, over 5.5 there in Seattle. And the last game I've mentioned here on this board behind me is the the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, California. They're up in San Francisco. Also one of these 2-2 home and home 4-game series, I think. Giants beat them yesterday in San Francisco. This is, I think it's Jose Suarez, a left-hander. He's replacing Andrew Heaney, the horse for the Angels. Suarez is hasn't appeared in a game, I think, this season is what I'm trying to say. And he wasn't particularly sharp last season. High ERA, giving up a lot of power numbers. Kevin Gossman goes for the Giants. He hasn't been great either. And in this particular game, we should point out that both Mike Trout, talk about a legend, and Anthony Rendon have had success against Gossman in the past. The ball is flying out of that park. It seems more so than ever with a lot of high-scoring games there in San Francisco recently. You see what I'm getting at. I am going to go with the game total to go over 9. The Angels bullpen is nothing to write home about, and I don't think they're expecting a lot of innings out of Suarez, even if he's decent. So I think it is a recipe to go over 9. I like that quite a bit. I think you can get it at a minus 105, but, pretty close to even money. Additional information to back that opinion is Mike Yaz. Mike Yastrzemski has been really good for the Giants. They're scoring a lot of runs. They just got back Austin Slater. I tried really hard for a Saved by the Bell reference here. I'll just leave it at that. But he's sharp. He's a really good right-handed bat, and he in particular eats up left-handers, does a lot of damage against left-handers. I think he went deep yesterday in his return from an injury. So they've got a lot of pop, the Giants, or more so than these last few years. They have some pop, and the ball's been traveling out of that stadium. So I look for both teams to get to both pitchers, or maybe it's a lopsided game and one team is just all over the other guy. 9 is not very many considering all of those conditions and the heat there in the Bay Area, just about everywhere, I guess. Okay, this video went a little bit longer than I had hoped, but I appreciate you watching. Thumbs up, pass it on. Rockstar Energy Drink continues to not be our sponsor with a total of 1 subscriber on my channel. I don't blame them at this point, but the picks are the picks. We're at about 65% here this last 10 days or so. So maybe retroactively they will eventually come across this video and, create some kind of sponsorship backing. Probably not, but I'll just keep asking. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Better Off Dead, and have a great day today. We'll see you soon.